I pick up this. I say, you know what this is? Oh, no. I said, this name tamarind. It had two kinds, the sweet and the sour one. Many women, when they were child, they like the sour one because they like to eat tamarind. You know what this is? No. I said, this is called sikie fig. Sikie. When them sikie birds come, this is what they like to eat, sikie. Then I asked her, I said, you know what this is? No. I said, this name Zaboka. You know Zaboka? Then she tell me about she know it as pear. I say, Zaboka, when you put a piece of Zaboka between a hot bread, oh Lord, you don't need cheese, you don't need butter, you don't need jam, you don't even need peanut butter. This is the real McCoy. All the proteins you can get is inside of this Zaboka. I asked she know what this is. No. This is nutmeg. You don't know that? Girl, and I start pointing to everything in my tray. And I tell her, I say, you remember this? You know what this is called? Oh, no. I said, this name ratchet. Remember all you used to wash your hair with ratchet? It's the cleanest shampoo you could ever find on the face of the earth. Natural something this is. Guava. When you eat guava, full of proteins. But you have to eat the right one. Because if you eat a green guava, it's khaki, you know. It's Epsom salts or cider you have to take for this to move, guava. But it's very good.
Preserving our culture, a slice of Caribbean market scene with Jillian Moore coming up next on Carib Nation. Welcome to Carib Nation. I'm Doris Dean, and my guest today is Jillian Moore, folklorist from Tobago, who's also a storyteller. And she's telling us a little story today about a marketplace in the Caribbean and a little message behind it. Thanks so much for joining us, Jillian. And we know that you are steeped in Caribbean food and fruits. And today, we cannot believe that some of the things that we have taken for granted in the Caribbean have become prime products today. We're paying top dollar for them in the United States. But your market scene talks a little bit about what happens when people leave the Caribbean and come back home, and how some of this information that they may have learned very young seems to disappear because we allow another culture to take over. Talk a little bit about your market scene and what made you want to use that as your message, your catalyst for your message.
You know, I love my culture, I love my country. And time after time when I return home, you know, you would have at the schools, you have vendors selling to school children. And I remember when I was going to school, and there was a lady named Miss Popo. And when you look in her tray, you have 1 penny and you want to buy everything. And every time I go home and I pass by a school, you would see these vendors with chips, corn curls, some watered down something, you know, and I
something
would ask,
processed,
not the natural, as I would say, the natural McCoy. You know, and I happened to ask one of the vendors, She said the children and them don't have time with that anymore. And it's true. I would pass at homes and see fruit trees. The fruits falling from the trees
rotting
and
on
nobody
the ground, yeah.
picking them up. Boy, my eyes does open. I'll pass, ask, can I have this? They take as much as you can. So I want to know what has gotten into the youths, number one, and into the parents that is encouraging their kids to eat a different way now. And those are the things, and kids growing up now, they're twice time my size, and they fail to realize what it is.
What it is, yeah.
Is what they're putting in.
Of course.
That is coming out.
And we have allowed ourselves to be absorbed into the American culture.
Very much so.
Because we have not learned from America, as I see it, the greatest propaganda machine in the world, the greatest branding machine in the world.
Tell me about
to
it.
brand our own.
Which is true.
And that is why I think that we really need to preserve this
and
culture.
Even sometimes when you look at the television commercials when I'm at home, there's things that they're advertising up here.
Exactly.
You don't even see Mopsy biscuit.
Nothing to do with anything
Nothing
there.
at all, you know?
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I decided, I said, you know what? As I like writing little skits, I decided I'm going to come up with this and maybe go back to the schools and do, you know, on Fridays we used to have little school concerts, or if possible, to get the message to the youths and let them realize what a mango is. You
And
know,
what
when you
they're
bite a
missing.
mango
Yeah.
and that juice running down on your hand, it's out of sight.
I know, it
You
takes
know,
you back.
plums, I see plum trees laden, they don't want that.
Yeah.
Give me a $5 and they're going straight to the parlor to buy corn curls or some processed food that is the food coloring in there that is causing
It's
them
catching the eye.
not to have a tactful brain.
That's what's catching
They're not
the eye.
That is it.
Yeah, yeah. We also have to remember that everything, it seems, is marketed to young people, and we have to really take that in hand.
True.
And help them understand. They come here, and you have to pay $2 for a mango, or $1 for a mango.
And still they don't buy it, you know, because what they crave now is the fruits like the kiwi. I'm not saying it's not good, but they fail to realize their own is
has
even
just
better.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Look at pomegranate. Pomegranate is king today. Really. But
We
you
had
cannot buy a single pomegranate.
trees
Yes,
of
exactly.
that. And still, when I go home and I see these fruits, I ask people, may I?
Yes.
And they tell you, sure,
Of
guava.
course. Yeah, yeah.
Our tree, we used to mark that guava because we were competing between the birds, because the birds would get
That's
it
right.
before
They
us.
would get them before you.
So
That's
we
right.
are looking at it to see when to get it.
Yes, that is
you
very
know,
true.
and even we call them sikie figs. They don't eat it. When I go, even in my family yard, we have trees with figs ripening, and they wouldn't pick it.
Pick them.
I don't understand it.
Incredible.
It
really
is.
is incredible. Well, we will see some of Jillian's little skit about trying to sell her fruit outside a schoolyard and not getting the response that she did expect immediately, but what the American dollar finally does, we find out. Right.
All right.
Take it away.
Bullen, girl, you're late coming down this morning. I missed you yesterday. How you walking so? What wrong with your foot? Your grand picnic? What you mean? You making that grand picnic of yours rule you? You had to put down your foot. Let the grand picnic know who is the bigger one. And you of all persons, you have to let her respect you. If you tell her to wear that, that is what she had to wear. My grand picnic and them don't give me them kind of trouble. What you mean? Your foot must hurt you. Look how you have on the shoe and them the left or right. Anytime you hustle, that is what happens. Girl, I come down here early, I already get some sales. But I really miss you yesterday, you know. Girl, I had a customer here. If you was here, you would have dead with laugh. I hear, you know, when I done set up and thing, I just read my little daily word. And while I bend down reading my daily word, I hear, morning, ma'am. So me didn't pay the call, no mind. Because me know anybody come in my area here, just call me Keturah. Morning, Miss Keturah. Oh, Keturah, darling, how are you going? I hear again, morning, ma'am. So you know me look up. How may I help you? Then she said to me, what do you have in that box there, pointing at my tray? So I said to her, this is not a box. This is a tray. You know a tray? Oh, no, I don't know what it's called. Girl, Bullen had nearly thrown the whole tray behind this fool. So I said to her, why are you calling me ma'am? You don't know my name? Oh, no, ma'am. I said, who you be? What your family name? The name Jacob. I said, you mean Jacob from Topside? Yes. I said, well, if you name Jacob, your father and them name Jacob, you had to know me. I mind all Jacob, Pickney and them. My name is Mavis. I say, Mavis? Mavis, you remember me, Keturah? Me mind you before you leave here and go away. Well, I don't recall you. Bullen girl, I wanted to slap him, but me no police would attack me. Then she points. What is this? I say, young lady, all of this in my tray here is what you used to eat up on the hill. All you have all these fruits. Why don't recall their names? I say, well, all right, let me educate you. This would be called Fruits 101. I'm sure you did that, and you did biology or them kind of big study. You just study. I pick up this. I say, you know what this is? Oh, no. I said, this name Tambron. It had two kinds, the sweet and the sour one. Many women, when they're with child, they like the sour one because they like to eat Tambron. You know what this is? No. I said, this is called Sikie fig. Sikie. When them Sikie birds come, this is what they like to eat, Sikie. Then I asked her, I said, you know what this is? No. I said, this name Zaboka. You know Zaboka? Then she tell me about she know it as pear. I say, Zaboka, when you put a piece of Zaboka between a hot bread, oh Lord, you don't need cheese, you don't need butter, you don't need jam, you don't even need peanut butter. This is the real McCoy. All the proteins you can get is inside of this Zaboka. I asked she know what this is. No. This is nutmeg. You don't know that? Girl, and I start pointing to everything in my tray. And I tell her, I say, you remember this? You know what this is called? Oh, no. I said, this name Ratchet. Remember all you used to wash your hair with Ratchet? It's the cleanest shampoo you could ever find on the face of the earth. Natural something this is. Guava. When you eat guava, full of proteins. But you have to eat the ripe one. Because if you eat a green guava, it's cocky, you know. It's Epsom salts or cider you have to take for this to move, guava. But it's very good. Bullen, let me tell you something. All what you telling me there is okay. If you have an ailment, a tired tell you to get aloes. Well, if you insist you could go to doctor, me now go to no doctor, and I had to tell the doctor what's wrong with me, and then pay him to treat me, and then he go fill me up with a lot of pills. Me not take no pills, bo. No pills for me. My medication right here is what I am going to be using. I just use Mr. Aloe for everything, Bullen. I tell you that. Aloe is good for from childbirth to runny nose to broke foot to break, everything. People just take this and make aloe vera juice. Why should I drink that when I have the real McCoy? When they make them juice, there is a byproduct of this thing I get in. But if you eat it naturally just so, it's 100% authentic. You hear a big word I using for your Bullen? Authentic. Mango. She go tell me she ain't know nothing more mango. Mango dudus, zabico. When you bite into that, the juice run on and you have to lick. She go America and ain't know nothing more mango. It's the sweetest thing you could get. It's twofold. If you eat too much, you go to the bathroom. That in itself is a laxative. Mangoes. Eh? Then she gonna take up this and ask me, what is this? You know what this is? This is the cocoa. When you cut the cocoa, it has some white pods in that. We used to suck on them seeds. They say if you suck too much of them things, you just get shortness of breath. You can't run far. And from the cocoa, when it dry and you dance it, this is what you just get, the real cocoa. They just take this and make chocolate. All them Cadbury chocolate bar is from this. From this to this. When we make tea with this, if you see how it does float, the oil does float on the top, girl. Nothing burn your lips, so if you drink a hot cup of cocoa tea, that is what that is. And when I'm telling she all of this, if you see how she looking at me like she is amazed. When tell you amazed. Me can't see how you could go away for 5 years and forget all these things that you used to run about knowing. Eh? Coconut, where we used to make chip from. Ginger, thing to give you energy. Like you, where you say your foot hot in you, you drink a cup of ginger tea. All the energy, it wake up your nerves. Bullen, I tell you, the things we just be selling here, we don't know the importance of it. We just selling it to make a penny. Don't talk about this. When I tell she this name, 5 finger, she said, oh no, we call this a star fruit. I said, what star? The star Bethlehem? This is 5 finger with a little bit of salt. And you bite this thing, it's sweet for so. Well, I don't know. I asked she about this. She don't know what this is. I said, this is corn. She made me to understand when she buy corn in the groceries up there, it don't have all of this on it. I said, this is the real thing. You pick it, you roast it, you boil it. And you even play the game. Chip, sail fast. How many men on deck? You had 3 in your hand. If you say 4, you give me 4 yours. We used to play with corn. I cannot conceive how these young people could leave the land and go to somebody else's land and can't remember the things they had as a child growing up. It's not only children, you know. Bullen is big, hard back man and woman does do the same thing. Come back down here yanking. What is this? What is this? The last time when I was selling crab, remember when I gave the joke? And this lady said, what is this? And when she pointed at the crab bite, she says, oh God, the crab, help me. She didn't know crab when it didn't bite, she know. Them is the things that I tell them. Papaya, good for you, especially this half-ripe one. You blend that up and you drink it. Eh? Then we come with the watermelon. All these things I'm selling here, they have value interest for your system. But young people don't want these no more, you know. You see where I come out here in the market? It does take me hours before I could sell a little $5. But they're running in the parlor and they're buying chips and they're buying all these processed corn curls. They ain't want mango. They ain't even want they ain't even want a kaimit. All these things, passion fruit, even a little pear, you call this the pineapple. They ain't want that. Don't talk about this one. You see this thing, Coraili? Well, I hear people, you know, since we have all these foreigners coming in here, they call it some bitter lemon. It's Coraili. Nothing good for your system like this. You see, when my grandpicnic and them finish school for the year, before they go back, I gave them this. And nowadays, I just give them a little carrot to drink. But my tray full of nutritional value for the body. Bullying, you think I lie? Why? We should be able to sell this whole tray within 3 hours and go back home. When I'm done with that young lady, she looked at me and smiled. She said, so how much money would you get for all of this? I said, well, when I count up this thing here, it's roughly about $75. I have okra, fresh okra, I have sorrel, I have morby bark. I just sell anything because anybody who come, when they come and look at my tray, I selling them. And you know how I could talk? I would talk the dollars out of your purse, your wallet, your pocketbook, or even your bosom. So you know what I did like? When I done educate she said, Miss Keturah, I like everything what you tell me. And I think the only way I could understand where I really came from and the purpose of these things is if I give you $75 for everything in your tray. Would that be okay? I said, 75 US? She said, yes, that's all the money I have. I said, thank you, Jesus. I could go home now. I could even get she the tray and all. I sell she the tray. You know it's $75? I know when she go back and tell she poopa, he go tell she crazy. But I am a praying soul and I ask the Lord to help me sell all my fruits today. And buy she did buy them. So Bullet, come down early next time and you might be able to sell everything. Quick, fast and indifferent. Me Keturah, and God is home and going now. Happy days. Happy days at Jordan. Happy days. When anybody buy me whole tray, good girl, I leaving you right here because you didn't leave me yesterday all by myself. Bye-bye.
As we grew up knowing young, older people selling fruit outside our schools, green mango and salt and things like that, do you think that we can get to the young people here? Because we, I think, have an obligation to help them understand what our childhood was like, what has been given up, but at the same time, what is the basis for our foundation?
You know, there is, it may be a difficult sell because when you try to tell them, you say, oh, that was a long time. And they're not, and some parents aren't giving their children that information.
Exactly.
My daughter, for instance, and my niece and my nephew, even though they were born here, they love the islands. They love the island fruits. And you see, a king is not honored in his country.
True.
So we having it in the Caribbean, they don't want that.
True.
You know,
Very
so
true.
we now who have missed it for so long, when we go back, we crave it and we can't, you know what I mean?
Very true.
And by doing that and instilling in them and showing them the need to eat this way, it's good. And you see, you have to find it in a creative way to give it to them, you know? And that is the only way I think it would become palatable for them.
Yeah.
But if you are too forceful,
Yeah.
they would move
Well,
away
they
from
have to
it.
sort of take it in by osmosis almost.
True.
by observing how our own enthusiasm, because I think that's how my children picked it up as well. Because you could hear them tell somebody else, you should see my mother when she gets to the Caribbean, she's a different person. But of course, because that is the excitement that is engendered through being among these things and going back to the early times, which we enjoyed so much.
And you know, funny, when I go home and I go hungry for my fruits, you know, like I remember telling my daughter about a sapodilla. And she said, Mommy, where is that?
What's
So
that?
when I showed her it, I even showed how she could eat the skin, chewing it, it would
That's
become
right.
something like
That's right.
chewing gum. And it cleans the teeth also,
Yes,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. You had to put nothing on
Nothing.
these fruits.
Well, Jillian, that's a sweet point on which to end. So thank you so much for joining us and for bringing your work to us. And good luck, and I hope all goes well for you.
Thank you, Darius.
Okay.
The pleasure was mine.
And I hope you got a very good idea of what it's like to really enjoy some of those great fruit that we're now paying top dollar for in the in America, and maybe sometimes in